So what we're looking at here is my live rig. Just this little bit is really all I take with me. And the main component here is this Tech 21 RK5 Fly Rig is what it's called. And this is something that you can buy at your music store. It's a delay pedal. And this is a delay featuring a tap tempo, so you can just tap this button with your foot to change the tempo. You got a level control, which is how you blend the dry signal versus the delay. You got your repeats that you can set. You have the time thing, which I don't really bother with because I have the tap tempo, so these two things kind of do the same gag. Unless you're doing some kind of spaceship sound, if you crank this and hit a note, you can make some crazy sounds by turning that. And then the other nice feature has a drift control, so if you use this, you can kind of create the illusion of a chorus type effect by just using a little bit of the drift and getting the right tempo on the time selector. This is the overdrive, and this was really what took the most time to develop. We spent a good 6 months experimenting until we found out what it is that I really like in an overdrive and how to build it. And that's what this is. So you have your level control, you have your drive, and then you have a tone control that works much like the tone control on your guitar amp. Okay, so if this is full out, I believe I'm correct in saying that it's not really doing much other than letting the signal go through. And if it's too bright, you simply roll this back. It'll always be bright enough, but you can roll this back. And that's kind of how that works. Obviously the drive is the amount of distortion, and then there's a boost feature which obviously does exactly what it says, boost the signal. So let's say you don't want to use the Sans amp, you can set this flat, and when you turn it on, it'll just be a reverb. So that's how I normally use it. I have this set as a reverb. So now I've got two-stage overdrive, delay, and reverb. However, let's say I go somewhere and they don't have a 100-watt hand-wired Marshall Plexi, and I got to play through something else, maybe an amp that's a cleaner kind of amp. I can then turn this on and literally revoice this foreign amp that I'm not familiar with, and get a really cool sound to emulate what I'm used to, and use the reverb or not, you know. Wireless, and I love this wireless because it's meant to live right on the pedal board. So rather than having two long cables, I have one cable. Let me talk about the wah pedal, and one more feature about this. If you notice here, that's a stereo cable. The reason why is this pedal is sending phantom power to my wah pedal, which has been modified to see DC voltage on the output. Now this is a great modification because it means I only have to plug in one thing, and there's no batteries involved. So I plug this in with the adapter they provided, and not only powers this pedal, but it sends phantom power to the wah, and I don't have to worry about a battery or a second adapter. So that's a mod that I would recommend anyone that buys this, they do that mod. Talk a little bit about the wah. This wah, as you can see, is called the Fire Classic Bobber wah. This is made in Brazil, and some friends of mine down there turned me on to this thing. A couple things about it that I like, other than the fact that it's small and compact, which I love when you can make things smaller for some reason. Less stuff to worry about, I guess, to carry around.